I know you're not intentionally asking me, you need to make it and you need to do it, but subconsciously that is the point, because you're asking where the food is. Things are not in order.
No. That is your expectation. Yeah, I wake up at 6. I take him to...
I still resent him at times, a lot of the time, and I realise that it's heightened when I haven't slept.
You haven't put Jerry to bed in the last 6 months.
Should we get the violins?
My Apple Watch doesn't say I'm getting that much sleep.
Oh really? So when your eyes are closed and you're snoring, what are you doing?
but data suggests I'm not sleeping that long. I wake up, I go and take care of him, I put him to sleep, and he wakes up probably on average once or twice a night.
Who's got it harder in the nights?
You definitely have it harder at night.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I've had to say, babe, it's actually okay to admit that things are not going so good and ask for help.
Hey Deku fam!
Hey Deku fam!
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
We're back with another video, and in this video we are talking about the last month of having our son.
Yeah.
He is now 5 weeks old and it's become real because he's no longer sleeping through the night. Yeah, it's just been mad.
We were riding a wave, you know, like it was fantastic. We had a boy, the VBAC went well, and we're just so excited. But now reality is setting in. Kanaan is not sleeping. Tension is rising within our household. It reminds me of a time that I do not want to recall, but Jeremiah's newborn phase.
Oh my goodness.
Which was intense in our household.
Yeah.
Now guys, we can definitely understand why people are saying peace out is too much, because the newborn stage will wipe you out.
Honestly.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
At all.
So, how have you been feeling?
It's been tough, I'm not gonna lie. It's been really hard because I'm up every hour in the night and my guy's sleeping. He's getting his full 6 to 8 hours sleep. He's snoring next to me. And you know what? It's just so easy for me to just feel resentful.
My Apple Watch doesn't say I'm getting that much sleep.
Oh really? So when your eyes are closed and you're snoring, what are you doing?
but data suggests I'm not sleeping that long.
But I would take your place because I'd rather be, you know, at least snoring and sleeping, even if my Apple Watch is saying I'm not getting a full night's sleep.
Okay.
Because it is hard. It's hard work. I've been doing all the night shifts every day for the past month, and that's okay because obviously I'm the one that's giving milk to my child, but it'd be nice if you were a few nights a week just sitting up with me, you know, asking how things are, having a chat and stuff like that, because I do realise that you get to sleep through the night and then in the day, yes, you drop our son to nursery or you're at home with him, but then I can imagine at work you're just enjoying as well. This is where my mind goes. It's just like, oh okay, you get to go to work, which
but
is
you also
easier.
You have to also be mindful that we have a toddler who's also not sleeping throughout the night. And although I can't
he
really
wakes up 6 times.
He doesn't wake up 6 times.
Oh, okay.
But although I can't hear you and Kay, like Jerry and I feel like obviously over time I've got that kind of intuition connection to Jerry. So Jerry's across the room.
Yeah.
And I hear him moving in his room, and I wake up, I go and take care of him, I put him to sleep, and he wakes up probably on average once or twice a night.
Who's got it harder in the nights?
You definitely have it harder at night.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's my point. Like it's really hard for me at nights, and then in the day when you come back from work, sometimes I feel like you don't understand why things are not in order.
No. That is your expectation. I have no expectation on you to make sure that things are in order.
Yeah.
I come home, I ask you, what have you done in the day?
But it's,
But
why did you ask that question when you know there's a new life and I'm feeding that child and I'm with them the whole time? They can't even sit on their own.
I know.
They cannot sit on
but
their own.
not necessarily what have you done in the day in terms of like, have you done the laundry? Have you done cleaning? I'm just asking, what have you done?
Okay.
To start conversations, so that we can go from there.
Sure, that's the mindset.
Not like,
but
what have you done in the kind of...
But obviously there's housework that needs to be done as well that I'm trying to fulfill at the same time.
But no one expects you to do it.
But when you ask, where's Jerry's pants? And there's none there because they're not washed, they're not dried or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, who's supposed to do it? Because you haven't thought about doing the laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm trying to juggle doing the laundry, looking after a newborn, making sure there's food for Jerry. You ask, what is he eating? Stuff like that, questions that I know you're not intentionally asking me, you need to make it and you need to do it, but subconsciously that is the point because you're asking where the food is. Like if you haven't made it, then who else would have made it?
Yeah.
But I just think like
more like understanding what is around.
Okay.
In case I need to troubleshoot and then sort it out myself.
Okay. But then you add sleep deprivation to this. I know these things seem minor, and to be fair, you are doing a lot. I know you're doing a lot.
Because you don't take into consideration that we have a toddler who is full on. Like Jeremiah's energy is a lot. Most kids come out of nursery kind of like crawling out of nursery. He comes bursting out the gate and running.
Like what's happening now?
And then now I take him football and swimming afterwards, just to try and tire him out a little bit. Also, so that you can rest, because you find it very difficult when he comes back from nursery and he comes and sits here from 6 to 8 and he is just jumping all over you, wanting to play, etc. So I take him to swimming from 6 to 7:30. Come home.
You do the night routine.
And I do the night routine.
You do the morning routine.
I do the morning routine. I wake up at 6. I take him to...
I still resent him at times, a lot of the time. And I realise that it's heightened when I haven't slept.
You haven't put Jerry to bed in the last 6 months.
Okay, should we get the violins? Out.
6 months.
Violence,
you haven't taken him to nursery
Look, the point is...
since March the 16th. March the 16th, you haven't taken him to nursery.
The point is, I get it. You are doing a lot. I fully appreciate that. But what the sleep deprivation does is heightens all of these negative emotions that I'm feeling. And I want to shoot it towards you. I want to be angry towards you. I want to be frustrated towards you. I want you to take away the pain or the tiredness that I'm feeling. There's a song
about cast your cares onto the Lord, isn't there?
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying to do that.
You have been good. I feel like the resentment is rising, but I feel like it's controlled.
Yeah, and there's a battle. You can see the battle within me.
Yeah.
That
I can feel like your lip is fast.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to hold on to it.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting small, but not the full extent of it, which I appreciate. But then we can have the conversation about the things that you actually need me to do. So do you want me to wake up at...
I actually don't want you to. I think it's good that you get a good night's sleep. But this is me on the worst of me when I'm fully resentful. These thoughts come into my mind, but I have to take every thought captive. And I'm like, no, remind myself of everything that you are doing, because you are one active husband.
You know me, I'm happy to do whatever.
Yeah, you would do it.
If you want me to wake up and do the thing...
But it's not best for our household. You need to be rested as well, so you've got energy for our toddler.
Beef?
No, my beef is that 20% of relationships are breaking up in that first year of having a newborn, and we can fully understand why. If we let the fruition of how I'm feeling come into effect, and we actually have a replay of what happened with Jeremiah, there would be huge issues in our relationship.
Because even like in the Jeremiah stage, you would say something, and because I'm also tired, I would now retaliate and attack you. There was no grace in our household.
Oh, that is big.
There was no grace whatsoever.
That we had serious issues. So I'd put all my resentment onto Gabes, and then all my tiredness onto Gabes, and then he's short-tempered because he's also tired, and then we're going back and forth. We won't talk to each other for days. The tension would just be disgusting within our household, and to be honest, it was awful those first 6 months to a year of having Jeremiah. But this time we've chosen a different approach, and actually he's having more grace for me. I'm holding my tongue and remembering all the good things that he is doing, the fact that he is trying his best, the fact that he is, taking on our toddler completely in terms of managing him. And you know what, it's going to be hard, and we also accept that it's going to be hard.
But when it comes to Kay as well, because obviously he's a newborn and you're breastfeeding, there's also this little bit of you're the mother, you know best kind of thing. And I've let you kind of ride that wave. And you've been sleeping with him, and rather than putting him down to sleep, every time I look up, he's lying you to sleep. And I'm seeing that he's becoming more and more dependent on you.
So now that we know that tension is rising within the Deku household, we've got a few things that we're going to implement and do so that we do not become part of that 20% statistic. Let's just share some of the things that we've done differently this time that's really helping us stay on one accord in the first newborn stage. So one thing that we're doing now that baby K is approaching 6 weeks is establishing a routine. I know they don't advise it until 8 weeks or something like that, but we are starting now.
We did it for Jerry, and we'll do it for K as well.
Yeah, we will, because we are routine oriented.
What we have come to realise is the fact that if Kanaan sleeps, we sleep better, or at least Anna will sleep better. So what we just need to hit it on the head and actually get him in a routine. The methodology that we use for Jerry is called the easy methodology, which is eat, activity, sleep, and you time. And that is a methodology that really works for Jerry, where you establish what his wake windows are and just take him on that journey so you know the next thing that's coming up. And it was fantastic. And technically we still kind of use that for Jerry now, so we know how long he stays up for. We make sure he has a nap, and then the next time he's sleeping, he's going to bed. I know some people like to go with the flow, but we don't do going with the flow. You wish you
I know, I'm naturally a go with the flow person, but I'm a changed woman after being routine orientated, because it's not good for me. It doesn't help at all. So we're establishing that routine, and that will help us be more rested. Another thing that I'm going to do more of is bite my tongue.
We both need to do this, not just you.
Really?
Yeah.
Lovely. Like that. Yeah, so I'm going to actually not react as soon as the thought comes to mind, because oftentimes it's been so easy for me to just have a thought that should come out of my mouth, but actually I need to exercise self-control.
Yeah.
And if I exercise self-control, that time between thinking it and saying it is longer, which means I have time to think about it, and actually I can replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. So when I'm thinking, oh, Gabes is getting a really good night's sleep now, it's like, oh, because he uses a lot of energy in the day looking after our toddler, which I really appreciate. So I just keep doing that back and forth of replacing that negative thought with a positive thought, then my tongue will actually not let out that initial thought.
I just think that we just need to be careful what we say to one another, because once we say it, we can't take it back.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be saying things because as though I try and forget the thing that you say, I don't forget them. And I know you definitely don't forget the things I say to you. So we just have to be mindful of what we say with one another, especially when we're feeling a certain way, because it has impact on our relationship.
Yeah, comparing each other's situations is just not the way to go. Like, we're one team, and at the end of the day, you don't fight with your teammate. You don't try to get the upper hand with your teammate. You're trying to do things together. So actually we're dividing and conquering so that we can both be well, so that our household can be well. So I just need to meditate on that. We both need to remember that during the tough times. Another thing we're doing is having grace for one another, not being offended by one another, and we're not going to retaliate. Amen.
Yeah, I just think in this season, obviously we have to bite our tongue, but sometimes that tongue might slip and we might say certain things that we regret. But we just need to have a period of extra grace, kind of not anything goes, but anything goes. And I'm not going to be offended by you because I know that you're going through a lot. So grace is yours. And I'm also going to not retaliate. I think this one is like something I definitely need to work on. When Anna says something, I could be the bigger person. I could say, okay, she's feeling a certain way and just let it slide. But I want to get the last word in. I want to make sure that she's feeling the way that I am feeling. And the retaliation does not help whatsoever. It adds fuel to the fire. It makes things escalate. So we just need to have grace for one another.
Yeah, the same thing happens to me as well. Like, I am having more grace for you. Have you realised? That I'm actually biting my tongue a lot more. But then it does build up because I don't actually deal with it or give it to God. And then it just comes out in the worst of situations. So I also need to...
Grace is here for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Grace is here for you.
Yeah. Another thing we're going to do more of in this season is show appreciation to one another. It feels like we do this day to day anyway, but now we're in the newborn phase. We need to increase the appreciation,
especially where you're feeling tired and you're feeling overwhelmed, and I come and ask something of you. It's like, Anna's like, how can you just come in the house and ask me X, Y, and Z? You don't know what I've been doing. And okay, I get it. So I need to just make sure that I come in with a sense of appreciation, ask her how her day was, even just
increase the words of affirmation in this season.
Increase the word affirmation, just so that you feel so you can feel uplifted, rather than me coming and saying negative things, or even just asking general comments, or not even taking into consideration what you've been going through, and then it may feel like you've got a weight that's been added onto your plate.
Because this is not just a normal season. This is not a season that we have all the time. So in this season where maybe there's a bit more vulnerability, or a bit more expected in us.
What, from K, you mean?
Yeah, I feel like they're just more in the season. It's a very intense season.
With a newborn and a toddler, it's intense.
So we have to increase the level of appreciation for one
another. And it's the little things. It's just like saying thank you for everything. Like, everything shouldn't go unnoticed, and we just need to make sure that we're mindful of one another, we're showing appreciation for one another, and then hopefully that will be received, and positivity, it will increase, tension will reduce.
And the last thing that we're going to do more of in this season is be vulnerable.
People always ask, how's it going? You can't actually say, like, it's been rough.
It's hard.
Because the next thing that they may say is, okay, how can I help? And then you can tell them how you can help. Anna is not really great at this. Let's be honest. Anna tells everyone she is great all the time. And I think over time, I've had to say, babe, it's actually okay to admit that things are not going so good and ask for help. I think sometimes you don't really like to ask for help.
I think I'm in my ask for help's era at the moment.
You are.
But still not as much as a normal person would. In my mind, I'm asking for more help, but maybe I'm not asking enough. And I think, I sent a vulnerable text to Gabes the other day saying, I'm really struggling. Kay's not sleeping much. He's waking up every hour and I'm very tired. And he was like, thank you for being open with me. I thought he'd already known that was happening, but clearly it was all in my head. So I think being more vulnerable just allows people in to your situation, and especially when it's your partner, they should definitely be in the situation with you and know what's going on. And then I noticed that, as the day progressed, he was doing a lot more, or asking me how I am, encouraging me more. So I think vulnerability just opens the door for a lot of that to happen.
So there's vulnerability with each other, and there's vulnerability to our close friends. Fair enough, you don't want to air out your laundry to everyone, but your best friends, you can tell how hard it is. Your family, so like our parents support us a lot. They come and alleviate us. We've even started going to the gym. It was once we went to the gym Friday afternoon. Went to the spa and enjoyed ourselves because we were like, we're tired. Well, Jerry went to sleep, and then Kay was with my mom and Anna's mom, and then we just went and then chilled for a few hours. I think you'd be surprised how many people are willing to help if you just say, hey, I need help. So we just need to do that a bit more. We need to probably just be a bit more strategic and schedule it. And at this point, I probably need a little break so kids can go over to whoever, and then we can just go and enjoy ourselves. Yeah.
So Deku fam, we thought it'd be helpful to just share how our first month of parenting is going with having 2 under 3.
Tension rising, but it's controlled. We're managing it.
We're doing so well, and I pray by the grace of God that we will continue through using those 5 tips. And we hope it can help you, because the Deku fam community will not be part of that statistic. 20% of relationships are breaking up in that first year of a child.
How sad is it for the future of that child? Just by parents coming together, not being able to squash the beef, and then they break up. Like, we need to make sure that we stay strong to one another. We have to know that the season of sleep deprivation does not last forever. By 3 to 6 months, children start actually sleeping longer. We sleep trained Jerry at 6 months, and he was sleeping 13 hours from then onwards. So it's not going to be forever. So we just have to make sure in these difficult times, we're not sowing seeds of negativity and hatred, that we just ride the wave, and then
know that it will pass.
It will pass, and then we just get back to where we were before.
We can't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. And I think there are a lot of temporary emotions in this season of the first year of your child being around. So let's just not be part of the statistic, and let's build healthy families
together.
Alright, Deku fam, we'll see you in our next video. Bye.